Hello there, Ray here. I'm joined by Pylord,
Hello.
and you'll never guess what is back. The Portal Pearl Warp version 2 is back, guys.
So I was testing out on a 1.13 world, and I found out that the teleportation glitch with pearls actually still works.
So Pylord and I did extensive testing to do with the Portal Pearl Warp, and we're going to go over exactly how to perform it, as well as some tips and tricks so you can easily get it done in survival. This glitch allows you to go all the way to the world border in just 30 seconds, and you can even return from the world border all the way back to the world spawn point in a similar amount of time. So the Portal Pearl Warp works similar to that of 1.12, and most consistently works on level ground. So we're here on top of the nether, and we're close to 0, 0. You can get up here numerous different ways. I'll link in the description to my video explaining how you can get on top of the bedrock. And once you're on top of the bedrock, you can perform the glitch very similar to that as we did in 1.12. Get inside the portal, face downward, throw ender pearl, and jump at the same time. And now we are about 8 times the distance as we were before. And then you would build up a portal and then repeat this process. Staying in the middle of the portal kind of helps keep it consistent. Now we're 1,000 blocks out. And then all you have to do is keep going and making portals and jumping and throwing ender pearls. And now we are 9,000 out. And just continue lighting portals and building them and going through them with ender pearls. Continue to put your coordinates out by 8. So now we're over 500,000 blocks out. And every time it's going to take us times 10. Now we're 4,000,000 blocks out.
Sometimes you'll get stuck in the floor, so you have to use another pearl.
So now we've reached the world border, pretty close to it. It's only a couple hundred blocks away from here in the nether. A lot of people say that there is no world border in the nether, or at least it's not at 30,000,000 blocks. A lot of people think it's at 7,000,000 blocks, but it is at 30,000,000 blocks. And what happens when you go through the nether portal, it will just set you back towards the world border in the overworld, and it doesn't stick you outside of the world border. So you can see if we go through here, we are over here in the overworld, and the world border is pretty close. It's just off in the distance. So the world border is just off here. This is a corner of it. Oh, you can see I just went through it. And yeah, so you can easily go from the world spawn point near 0, 0 all the way out here to the world border in just a matter of a few seconds if you want to get the portal set up. So using the Portal Pearl Warp is one of the fastest ways to get out to the world border, and you can even use it to get back, although you can't do it if you're too close to some of the edges. So we had to move the portal about 1,200 blocks. You can do this using the nether to move it. But now we're out about 3,000,000 blocks from spawn. Let's do it again. Take our way back to spawn. Now we're only 4,000,000 blocks to spawn. Going backwards, getting closer. Now we're only 50,000. Now we're only 7,000. And we're stuck inside the obsidian of the portal that we built here. So let's go through it one more time. It's going to be about 1,000. Yep, about 1,000.
We're about at spawn now.
One more time should put us right at spawn. And now we're at spawn. So it's extremely fast to get back as well. The reason why it's so consistent in our world here is because the ground in which we're doing it on is flat. If you would do this in a typical default world, you'd have to probably go ahead and make sure the areas that you're teleporting to have a surface that is at the same Y level as the portal in those coordinates. So we'll give you guys a small example of how to do this. So here we have a portal and we're trying to get back to spawn. So this one's out at 1,000. So we wanted to go to one that is 8 times closer to spawn. So we can take these coordinates of the portal and we can divide them by 8. And then we go to that location and make sure there is blocks there. We can also go into the nether, and the portal that is placed here is going to be in a similar location. So if we take this coordinates and everything about this portal, but just apply it to the overworld and check that location, as long as there is some blocks that will occupy the place, and they can even be really deep, that way the player is least placed on a block. If there's no blocks there, then it will fail. It will also fail if you happen to be in ghost mode. So sometimes when you go through portals, you'll end up being in ghost mode, in which case stuff like elytras won't work, or going through portals properly will not work. So just relog and that will fix that.
So sometimes when you go through a portal and do the teleportation glitch, it doesn't actually teleport you properly. And I found that if you build another portal that's out of linking distance, then usually you have to travel pretty far, like maybe 1,000 blocks or out of the linking distance. So you can build another portal and do the glitch again.
Another spot where you might have trouble with the Portal Pearl Warp is when you're kind of close to spawn where there is portals in the overworld. So if I perform it right here, you will see that what it'll do is it will cause me to be teleported down into the ground. So if I would look where I'm currently at, I'm down Y level pretty low. And this is because there is a portal at that Y level that was down here, but in the overworld. So if I go through this portal, you'll see that in the overworld, there is a portal that is at like Y level 41. And if you go back over here, you can see Y level 41 was pretty much down inside this hole here. And if you had that problem, you could just move a little bit farther away from like 0, 0, move across the top of the bedrock, get a little further, or you can go over to the overworld and destroy this portal and then repeat the process, going back to 0, 0 and then working your way back out again. So this is the practice world, which I'll leave you guys, and I'll just want to go over the steps I used to get to the world border and back in survival. So it takes about a stack of obsidian to get this all the way to the world border. Let's go ahead and go through it. I'm at world spawn point. And then I built a portal. You could break bedrock. You still do it at 1.13. You can build a portal like this. It'll take you directly from world spawn point up above it. I'll link it to a video if you want to learn more about that. And then all you have to do is get your portal set up, and then you can just start going into them and start throwing down ender pearls and start teleporting you across the world. And then with all the portals up, you can easily hop into one, throw another pearl in, you hop into another one, keep going. It's good to bring food along with you so that you can regenerate your health. You can see how fast this is. If you don't bring food along, you will eventually die from all the pearl damage. If you ever run into a situation where you don't teleport, just relog. Because you're most likely in ghost mode, so let's go ahead and give it another try. There you see it, now I'm at 50,000. Go ahead and do it again. And if you're stuck inside of the bedrock, you can just pearl up to get out. And then make sure to eat your food when you're going through the portal. You can throw a pearl and then start munching on your food. And then, yeah, you can always glitch into the ground a little bit. And then you can constantly keep doing this. We are currently out 4 million blocks. So if you would want to go to the overall world border, since it's going to be times 8, you go through at 4 million blocks, and then you'd be pretty close to the corner of 2 world borders here. But if you want to continue on going to the Nether's world border, go ahead and keep throwing pearls in and eating. And this last teleport here will take you pretty close to the world border. So you can see we are currently pretty close to 30 million. Right over here is the corner of it. There you go. So pretty much within a few seconds after getting the system set up, you can get all the way to the world border, not only of the overworld, but also of the Nether. Now, once you go through this portal here, it will place a portal that's over in the overworld. You also get the advancement for going quite far out, actually going to the world border, to be more precise. But this portal here will actually make it so that every time that you go back trying to use that same system, that last portal there, if you try to go through it again, it will end up taking you to the coordinates of this portal, so end up putting it at Y level 20. That's something to just keep in mind. But yeah, you can go ahead and try to use this portal to get back. So we just go inside of it and jump up, throw a pearl down. You can see that we're inside of the ground. You kind of see some visual glitching as it looks like we're floating through the ground. In these type of cases, it's good to have solid blocks such as we had here. So the guy found those solid blocks. Here you can see I'm falling through the world because the game doesn't keep very good track of me, but I'm actually not falling through the world. I'm stuck here inside of some of these blocks. If you try to go back to spawn, it's best to do it kind of down low because you know there's going to be a lot of blocks for your guy to go inside of. We also want to keep a pick along with you so you can break your way out and keep some decent foods so you can eat so you can regenerate your health very quickly. Otherwise, you can continue this method and go all the way back to spawn relatively easy. The only time it's going to fail if it happens to put you in a place that is completely void of any blocks, such like as a cave. So now you just dig yourself out to a cave and build up another portal like I did here. And then if you have a decent pick like efficiency 5, you can dig your way out. Let's go ahead and do it again. Just jump, throw a pearl in, and you'll be teleported. You can see my coordinates. Now I'm at 400,000 blocks out. Now you just dig yourself an area so that you can put in another portal. You don't even have to dig yourself into a new cave if you don't want to. Light her up and be sure to regenerate your hearts, and then continue the process. In my experience, you have to relog quite a bit when going back to the overworld. Otherwise, you could run into problems. So you can see kind of how I was clipping through the floor, but really I'm still up here on Y level 6. So to avoid clipping through the ground, I advise probably keeping it above Y level 10. So you can see this one here is above Y level 10. And then, yeah, just go ahead and throwing your pearl in, and then getting teleported. And then mining your way out so that you don't suffocate. I'm getting pretty close to spawn. I'm at 7,000 blocks out. So now I'm only about 1,000 blocks away from spawn, so if I just go through this portal, it'll take me back to the Nether, and then from here I can go back through to the overworld. This is our original portal. Let's go back through here, and then this will take us back all the way to our world spawn point. So it's relatively fast to go to the world border and also all the way back again. So in this world, I made the route twice, and the only problem I noticed is that this portal will link up with a portal that we have in overworld that we just made recently to get back. So in this case, this portal will attach to one that's down low, and you could change this by kind of shifting this one over to the side and then shifting the other one over to the other direction. But this is what's going to happen. Pretty much you go in here, and if you go through this one, you see you end up at Y level 10, because this is where we have the overworld portal. So you could destroy the other one, or you could just leave it, and then all you'd have to do is move back onto the top of the nether again to continue on. And that's only because we have added in that one overworld portal that's down below. So this is the portal that was causing trouble, so I went ahead and knocked it out so that if you try to go towards world border, it should work, and when you come back, you just have to go ahead and relight this. If you guys would like to try it out in your very own survival world, I will provide a practice world so you guys can test out your skills before doing it in your survival world. One of the fastest ways to get to the world border, big thanks to Podlord who rediscovered this and shared it with me so that we can share it with you. So we'd like to thank you guys for watching, and if you guys found this video interesting, go ahead and show us with a like and share this with others, as this is a really cool method to get out to the world border. And if you'd like to see more crazy stuff like this for 1.13 and beyond, then go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button to get notifications. And tell us what you guys think down in the comments about this glitch. Would you use this to get out to the world border, and what would you do once you got there? Bye-bye!
Goodbye.